Okay, so we're gonna do the College Panda SAT practice math for the SAT math practice test for the SAT math. So we're gonna do test one, practice test one, and for the SAT math test we have two sections, section 3 and section 4. So section 3 we're gonna have 20 questions for 25 minutes. So that's roughly more than a minute for questions, and there was the questions, a lot of questions. So for the section 4, we got like 55 minutes for 38 questions. So that's roughly an hour for 38 questions. So in total, we're gonna have 55 plus 25, which is 80, aka 1 hour and 20 minutes for 58 questions, because 20 plus 38. So there you go. So those is some question covering graph and functions. So let's check the first test now. Okay, let's show you first test now. Okay. Question 1. Okay, so the volume of a balloon is given by the equation of V equal to t squared minus 3t plus 3. What's the volume of the balloon after 3 seconds? So for this question, we have a function of V here, and we call it Vt because the variable is actually t. The alternating variable is actually t. So we can just substitute t with 3. Everything where's t, we're going to substitute it with 3 because that's what we are asked for. We asked for the volume after 3 seconds, which means t equal to 3. So it's 3 squared. So everywhere have t, we're going to replace this with 3. So minus 3 times 3 and plus 3. So that's just 3, right? So the answer for 1 is A. So that's simple. 1 is A, which is very good. Let's say, okay, number 2. What of these following is equivalent to? Okay, so number 2 is a double division, right? So it's just 1 over x, and all this divided by x plus 3. So in this kind of division, we're gonna just multiply the two things that getting divided, right? So it's just 1 over, so x times x plus 3. So the answer gonna be A again. 2 is also A. Okay, so number 3. Okay, number 3. A 40 register record of only $5. Okay, a 40 register records only $5 for each dollar deposit. Okay, so if $8 is deposit, it's gonna return 5. So $8 gonna return 5. Okay. Okay, 5. Okay. Okay, so if the register shows a total balance of 40, okay, it means that it shows 40 here. So they ask us about what is the actual balance, which is the original amount, right? So you can see the ratio of the actual, divided by what is shown is actually 8.5, 8 over 5, right? So actual over shown. Alright, so that's actually equal to question mark over 40, and so you can easily use question mark is equal to 64. So the answer is actually B, right? Okay, and it is B. Okay. Number 4. Alright. Okay, number 4. That's gonna be a little trick. So we are given the equation, right? So x minus 2 square plus y minus 3 square and plus z minus z plus 4, right? Square all equal to 0. Okay, so we know that anything, right? Anything at all, just go with a square is always bigger or equal to 0 for OA. For OA belong to R. So this is belong to R. Okay, belong to R. So A is a real number, then A square is always bigger or equal to 0. And A square equal to 0 if and only if A equal to 0. Okay, that's equal to F mean if and only if. Okay, alright. So now with that idea in mind, we know that the first term x minus 2 squared is also bigger or equal to 0. Right? The second term is also bigger or equal to 0, and also the third term. Alright, so let's just copy this down. And this is bigger or equal to 0. Same thing at this term. So in general, their sums, right, is actually greater or equal to 0. Right? Because that's just add 3 non-negative terms together, the result should be non-negative. Right? So but here we ask that the equation has to be equal to 0. So this only happen if each of the individual term is in itself equal to 0, right? So this equal to 0 if and only if each individual term is in itself equal to 0, which means x minus 2 squared equal to 0 and y minus 3 squared also equal to 0 and also z plus 4 squared equal to 0. Okay, so this is just mean that you know, with simple calculation, x equal to 2, y equal to 3, and z equal to minus 4, right? So which mean that x plus y plus z is just 2 plus 3 minus 4, which is 1, right? So the answer for number 4 is actually C. For C, that's correct. Under section 1, 4, right? Okay, so they are talking about another one, but I think it's all the same, right? For are we on the same page? Yeah, we are on the same page. But maybe they are giving a lesson. They're doing it the wrong exercise here, so yeah, it's a little bit different. So it's okay. Doesn't matter. We can solve this as long as we know for C, right? So all right, let's keep going. Number 5. Okay, that's new, and I want to make it bigger. Number 5. Okay, so 3 to the power of x minus 3 is equal to 27. Alright, but we know that the 27 is equal to 3 to the power of 3, because you just try to 3 multiplied by together, and you're gonna get 27, right? So it's 3 times 3 3. But actually that's 3 cube, right? So equivalently we have x minus 3 equal to 3. So x equal to 6. So the answer of phi is C. Okay? Phi is C. Alright, phi is C, correct. Alright. Number 6. Okay, so with these exercises where they are telling you that figure not drawn to scale, you should only depend on the question, not the figure, okay? So don't look at the figure to come to a conclusion. You have to look at the actual picture, okay? You have to look at the actual sentence, the questions, right? Okay, so B bigger than A, and the triangle is isosceles. So B is bigger than A, which means B equal to C, right? Because B bigger than A, and isosceles, which means two angles are equal. So isosceles. So this might be equal to C, right? So B equal to C. So it's isosceles at A, right? So with B equal to C, so we know that two opposite sides has to be also equal, right? So AC equal to AB, right? So I think the answer is gonna be B. I think it's gonna be B, right? So 6 is C. Oh, the answer of which one must be false. Okay, so AC equal to AB. Okay, that's good. AC equal to BC. AB equal to BC. Okay. AB equal to BC. Oh no, but now we have, because B is bigger than A. B is bigger than A, which means that you can conclude that it just straightly the opposite side of B, which is AC, has to be bigger than the opposite side of A, which is BC. So BAC has to be bigger than BC. So the one that is obviously false is actually C. It's actually C, yes. So because the angle B is bigger than angle by A, so the opposite side of angle B, which is AC, has to be bigger than the opposite side of the angle A, which is BC. So the answer C is wrong. So 6 is C. Yeah, it's always C, right? 6 is C. 6C. Okay. All right. Number 7. Number 7. Okay. Alright, so y equal to mx minus 7. Okay, so let's go d1, line 1, we just go d1. On line 2, d2 is just 2x plus 3y equal to 6. So this mean that equivalent to 3y equal to minus 2x plus 6. So y equal to minus 2 over 3 times x plus 2, right? So because d1 and d2 are parallel, so their leading coefficient has to be the same. So because d1 is parallel to d2, so m has to be equal to minus 2 over 3. So the angle, the tan of the angle that they are intersecting with OX has to be the same, right? So the slope has to be the same, right? because d1 is parallel to d2, so their slope has to be the same, right? So m is equal to minus 3 over 2, 2 over 3, so that's C. 7 is C. Okay, 7 is C indeed. So the slope has to be the same. Okay, so alright, number 8. Okay, so what is the interpretation of number 100? Okay, so we know that C equal to 100 plus 1.5 m. Okay, time. So I think that's the initial cost of setting up, right? Because each 11 cups gonna cost 1.5 dollars. So, but you also have to add in the initialization cost, right? So obviously the answer is C, right? The initial cost. It is C. It is C indeed. Okay, number 9. Alright. So we are gonna deal with complex number now. I gonna have to maybe for some of you who doesn't know complex number yet, I think I'm gonna have to teach it on from scratch, like everything, right? Okay. So complex number is actually a natural expansion of the expansion of real number. I don't want to say the word natural in case of confusion with natural numbers. So complex number is actually the expansion of real number. So it has the form a plus bi. So with a, b is a real number and b is a real number. Okay. So which here we're gonna set I squared to be -1, because that's the definition of what an imaginary unit is. So A, we're gonna call it the real part, and bi we're gonna call it the imaginary part. So and I we're gonna call it the imaginary unit. The imaginary unit. Okay, so a complex number comes from the fact that we cannot solve all equation in which just the real number says. For example, x squared plus 1 equal to 0. This has no real solution. So this has no real solution. So because of this, and say in order to solve cubic problems, so some guys like Cardano and Tajania, I forgot his name, invented imaginary unit, which is a complex number to solve to solve cubic equation. Well, there's some cubic equation which I don't remember. So okay, so this is actually a good trick to solve cubic equation. Okay, so now let's really concern about how these complex number actually work. So in this case, we have a solution that x equal to I, which is because I squared is equal to -1, and -1 plus 1 is to 0. So and also another solution is x equal to negative I. Okay, x equal to I and x equal to -I. Okay, So let's learn how to a complex number works. So addition. So addition of complex number. So if the first complex number a plus bi plus with the second complex number c plus ei, then we should add the real part together, then we're gonna add the imaginary part together. Okay, so now the real part is a and c plus together, and the imaginary part is b and d, so we add it together. Okay, now we can also multiply to complex number. So multiply complex number. Okay. Alright. So with the same idea in mind, let's try it. So we change the operation to multiplication. So we're gonna multiply it as we multiply normal real number. So a times c is ac, bi times c is bi times c. Right? We're just using the distribution rules. Okay, so a times bi is just a times bi, and finally we have bi times di. Okay, so this part we're gonna take care of later. Let's try to work out this calculation. Alright, so AC we're gonna keep it the same. Well, BIC and ABI has the same factor of I, so we put it out of the bracket. Inside we have BC plus AD. Okay, AD, sorry. Alright, and here we have plus here BD have I squared. But I squared is equal to -1 as we have defined for complex number. So in this case we're gonna copy everything, and when we have I squared we're gonna replace this with -1. Okay, so in general we're gonna have AC minus BD and plus with BC plus AD times I. So that's in general how you work out multiplication of complex number. Okay. Alright, so let's try to solve the actual exercise. So that's a little bit of a complex number. So now let's calculate. Okay, the thing we actually be asked: 5 plus 2y 2i times 5 minus 2i. Okay, so we just multiply it out. 5 times 5 is 25, 2i minus times 5 is 10i, right? And then 5 times minus 2i is minus 10i, and minus 4i squared, right? 4i squared, right? Because 2i times 2i, okay, it's 4i squared, and we have to put the negative sign because 1 over 2i is negative. Okay, so that's just 25 minus, because the 10i's and minus 10i cancel each other out, so 4 times i squared is -1, and this is gonna yield 29. Okay, so now it's actually B. So yes, two complex number multiplied together can return a real number. It could be, it can be, it's not always, and it could be, so nice B. Nice B. Okay. So what you should remember is how to do this addition and multiplication of complex number, and the fact that I squared is equal to -1. Okay. So let's do an example for you here. That if what if we just do the multiply the addition with these two numbers. So it's not multiplication anymore, just addition. And 5 plus 5 is 10, and 2i minus 2i is 0. So it's actually 10. Okay. So because 2i and minus 2i cancel out, so it's actually 10. So anyway, let's do number 10. Okay. Okay, so number 10 asks us about the equation of a parabola. So we know that the equation of parabola is fx equal to ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0 plus c, okay? So they ask us that the x-intercept of this parabola is 3/5 and minus 1/2. So which means that f of 3/5 is actually equal to 0, and f of minus 1/2 is actually equal to 0. So because x-intercept, because x-intercept, so these two values going to be equal to 0, because when the graph intersect the OX axis, and its value going to be 0, right? And we're gonna have to find which graph in A, B, C, or D gonna yield that f 3/5 is 0 and f of minus 0 1/2 is 0. So for f 3/5 equal to 0, it has to contain the factor of 3x minus 5, 5x minus 3, and for this it has to contain the factor of 2x plus 1, right? So I think the answer for this is actually C. So 10 is C indeed. All right. Okay, so let's do 11 and 12. Okay, so during a trip, Jonathan has driven 75 miles by 6:20 p.m. and 85 miles by 6:40 p.m. He was driving the same rate for the entire trip. What time has he driven? A total of 140 miles. Okay. So let's write down to calculate. Okay, so 11. So 6:20 p.m. 75 miles, and 6:40 p.m. is 85 miles. 85 miles. This means that he's traveling for 10 minutes. He's traveling 10 miles. So this also means that his speed, his velocity is actually okay. So 20 minutes is just a half an hour. So this is actually 3 miles per hour, right? 3 miles per hour. So your 60 minutes gonna be corresponding to 3 miles. Alright. So what time has he driven a total of 140 miles. Okay, so at 640 he is at 85 miles. So in so remaining road is just 140 minus 85 is just 55 miles, right? So miles, and his speed is 30 minutes per hour. So time gonna be remaining over v, which is 55 over 30. So that's actually and this the unit is hour. So hour. So that's 11 over 6 hour. So we multiply everything with 60. So that's 110 minutes. Okay. So so what we have to add that to 645, 640, right? 640, and we have to add 110 minutes. So that's actually 8:30, right? Okay. So we see, right? All right. So let's see, 11 is C, yes. And number 8, number 12, okay. So number 12, we're going to do it this way. Okay, so number 12, alright, so this is equal to 5x plus 8 minus, okay, so this is a independent portion. That's 4 over, okay, so 3x minus 2. Okay, so we're gonna multiply to get the right hand side also in the fraction form, and so we can store out for k. Okay, so we're gonna keep the left side intact, and we're gonna write the right side into the fraction form. Okay, so equal to 5x plus 8 times 3x minus 2 minus 4 and over 3x minus 2. Okay. Alright, so let's find out what is k. Okay, so again, we'll get the left side intact. The right side going to be 5x times 3x is 15x squared. 8 times 3x is plus 20 is plus 24x. X minus 10x and minus 16, right? Alright, so that's actually, and we have the minus 4 outside as well. Minus 4 outside as well. So that's actually 15x squared plus 14x because 24 minus 10 is is 14 and minus 20. Okay. So now the two sides the same, so we can easily see that k equal to 15 as a corresponding coefficients, right? So k equal to 15 as a corresponding coefficient. So tells D. Okay? Yeah. Alright. 13. Okay, so number 13, we have to look at the slope. So we have to order them from the least to the greatest. So for number 13, so we know that j, the slope of j gonna be equal to 0, right? And we know that the slope of h and l gonna be positive. In this case, actually, the slope of h is bigger than slope of l. Alright, so this actually can be write this like this way. So j equal to 0, and we know that the slope of k is negative, so this actually bigger than the slope of k because k has to be negative. So the slope of k is actually negative. The slope of k is actually a negative slope. So we have the form of k smaller than j, smaller than l, and smaller than minus I, right? That's I. I is bigger than j. Yeah, I is bigger than j, and then smaller than h, right? No. That's something wrong. H is bigger than I is bigger than j, and j is bigger than k. Okay, that's correct. And k has to be less than j, less than I, and less than h. So kjih, so 13 is A. H, so 13 is A. 13 is A is true. Yeah, it's A. kjih, so it's A. Alright. Number 14. Okay, number 14 is quite straightforward. So number 14 we have the identity, right? So we have the identity of number 14. We have the identity of a minus b all squared. This is gonna be equal to a squared minus 2ab and plus b squared. So in this case, a is equal to 1 over m, and b is equal to 1 over n. So in general, this term over here, but it has to be equal to something I minus b all squared. So this is actually b. Okay, so because you replace a with 1 over m, b with 1 over n, and you're gonna get the portion. So it's a minus b squared, which is 1 over m minus 1 over n all squared. Alright, number 15. Wow, this is small tech, right? Number 15. Alright, so 3x squared plus 4 over x plus 1. This is equal to 3x squared plus 3, actually plus 3x right. Okay, and then we gonna minus 3x because like 3x is just redundant 3x, but and then we have the minus 3, so and then we plus 7 into to return things to normal, because it's plus 4 here, so 7 minus 3 is actually 4 over x plus 1. Well, I add number in like this because we want to create terms that actually cancel out with x plus 1. Okay, I want to cancel out x plus 1, so it's gonna be like this. So it's 3x squared plus 3x over x plus 1 minus 3x plus 3 over x plus 1 and plus 7 over x plus 1. Okay, so that is actually okay, so this side is 3x on one side, so it's x plus 1 over x plus 1, so minus 3 x plus 1 over x plus 1 and plus 7 over x plus 1. So this is because x plus 1 cancel, so 3x minus 3 plus 7 over x plus 1. So the answer is actually B, right? Okay. The answer is B, right? It's B. And 14 is also B. Okay. 13 is A. 12 is D. Alright, very good. Okay, so let's do number 16. Let's do number 16. Let's do number 16. So number 16 answers about what's the possible value for, like okay, so 15 is B already. 16, what is the possible value satisfy the inequality of the absolute value of 1 minus x has to be greater than 4. So the absolute value of 1 minus x is greater than 4. This means that it's equivalent with 2 cases. So it's either 1 minus x itself has to be greater than 4, or 1 minus x itself has to be smaller than negative 4. Then its absolute value going to be bigger than 4. So these two reasons two branches of solution for this equation. So alright, so this is equivalent with okay, so this is actually equivalent with x smaller than negative 5, or x bigger than so we plus 4 on this side, it's bigger than 3. Okay, so you can read it like x equal to negative 6 or x equal to 4. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so you can put in x equal to 6. It's okay. So for 6, which means it has to be bigger than 5. Really? Okay, so there might be some wrong thing I was doing here. So let's try to do it again. So there was some mistake here. So this means that 1 minus 4 is equal to x, and here down here 1 plus 4 is smaller than x. Okay, so this means that x is smaller than -3, or it's bigger than 5, which is valid, right? Which is valid. So so we can gradient x equal to -4 or x equal to 6, right? So 6, yeah, 6 is valid. So -4 is also valid. So yeah. All right. Okay, number 17. What's the value of x here? Number 17. All right. So we first have to calculate BDI, right? After we have got BDI, we're gonna get 80 minus 45 minus BDI and without x, right? So BDI, the angle BDI is actually just 180 minus ADC, right? So that's 180 minus 80, which is 100. So BDI is actually 100. So x will be equal to 180 minus so x is equal to first of all it's equal to ABD. So 180 minus 2 remaining angle of the triangle BTA, so minus BDA minus BAD. So it's 180 minus 45 and minus BID. Another 100 minus 45. So the result is 35, I guess. So 17 is 35. It is 35 here, 35. So 17 is 35. Alright. Okay, so let's come to number 18. Okay, so y equal to x squared plus x minus 2. Okay, so they asked about the value of k. Alright, so let's find out what is the value of k. Let's have a new sheet. So 18, so y equal to x squared plus x minus 2. Okay, so what is value of k? So first, the k is generated by inputting h as x, right? So first of all, we have to find out h first, right? H first. So h gonna be equal to 2 squared plus 2 minus 2, right? Because for h we have to plug in h equal to 2, so h is gonna be y, which is 4, right? So k is gonna be h squared plus h minus 2, so that is 4 squared plus 4 minus 2. So that's 18. Alright, so k equal to 18. R square. I think so. It's 18. Yeah, so number 18, the answer is 18. So good for random, right? Good for random. Alright. So number 19. So k squared plus 4k equal to 45. What is the value of k plus 2? Okay, so k squared plus 4k plus 4 is equal to 45 plus 4. But on the left side is actually k plus 2 all squared, and this is 49. So k plus 2 has to equal to 7, right? So the and k is bigger than 0, so it's 7. Okay, alright. So 19.7 and 20. Number 20, x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 9 equal to 0. So x squared outside, x minus 3 plus 3 times x minus 3 equal to 0. So x squared plus 3 times x minus 3 equal to 0. So x squared plus 3 is always positive, right? So x minus 3 has to be equal to 0, x equal to 3, because x squared plus 3 is always bigger than 0. Alright, so the answer is 3. So let's check. 18 is 18. Alright. 19 is 7 and 20 is 3. So it's good. And that's the end of section 3. And let's take a break and we're gonna move on to section 4. Okay? Alright, take a break. Yeah. Alright, so let's move on to section 4. Let's see what section 4 is about. So question section 4, we have 55 minutes for 38 questions. So this is going to be much longer than season 3. So please pay attention and have a good time strategy for your test. Okay? Alright, let's do section 4. So okay. So we're going to do it briefly. Number 1. So Jane memorized 10% more than good and Jack. Jack memorized 10% more words than Amy. So James is actually 10% more than Jack, so it's actually 110% times Jack, right? Because 10 more, 10% more than Jack. So that's just 1.1 times Jack. Okay. Jack is 30% more than Amy, so Jack is just 130% of Amy. So that is 1.3 times Amy. Okay. So with Jack, so Amy set Amy equal to A. So James gonna be 1.1 times Jack, right? So it's equal to 1.1 times 1.3 times Amy, which is 1.10 times 1.30 times 8. So the answer is A. Okay, and it's A. And this is exactly. Alright, number 2. Let's try number 2. Alright. certain pizza restaurant got slices out every 4 inches long edge of the pizza shown above. What's the maximum number of full pizza slices that we cut out from a circular pizza with a radius of 10 inch? Okay, so first of all we have to find circumference. Circumference is just, because the radius is 10 inch, so it's 2 pi times 10 inch. So that's 6.28 times 10 inch. So that's 62.8 inches. So how many number of full pizza slice? So 62.8 divided by each slice 4, and we have to take the integration part. So that's 15, right? That's we have to take the integer part. The integer part, the floor function of 62.8 divided by 4. So that's D. Choose D. Alright, choose D. Alright, number 3. Maya drove from her house to bookstore where she stayed for several hours before driving back. Okay, so when you stay for several hours, the distance from her home when we stay the same, so we can cross out D, because we have to have a period where the distance from Maya's house to her home is actually constant, so it's A, B, or C. Okay, which of the graph could represent Maya's trip? So we have A, B, and C. So Maya's trip. So we only have A, B, or C left. So when she was going far away from her house. But when she was, and then she have stayed at the bookstore, and then the distance from home in the time she's staying in the bookstore is staying constant, and then when she's driving home, the distance from her position to her home is actually decreasing. So in this case, it should be A. Okay, it should be A. So 3 is A. Because when she was coming from her home, the distance from her home is actually increasing, and in the time she was staying in the bookstore, it stayed constant. The distance from the bookstore to her home is staying constant because she's not moving anywhere, and then when she's traveling from the bookstore home, the distance is getting decreased. So 3 is A. Number 4. Okay. So it's a probability questions. Distribution of age in social media. 720 employees. The company, an employee who uses social media is selected at random. Okay. So now we're gonna only consider the portion of people who of employees who use social media, because an employee who uses social media is selected at random. So we have to divide whatever we find out for 360. So we have to find out the probability that they are over 30, so at least 30 or older. So for those who use social media, there are 120 who is 30 or older, so it's 120 over 360, which in turn return 1/3. So answer is gonna be A, and it is A. Okay, so it's equal to use social media. And each less bigger or equal to 30, divided by all the people who use social media. Alright, so that's equal to 20 over 360, which is 1/3. Alright, let's move on to number 5. Okay, so fx equal to x squared plus bx plus c, given 2x intersection which is minus 5 and 3. We see a constant and we have to find a b and c. Alright, so f of x equal to x squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so we know that x-intercept is minus 5, so we have f of minus 5 is equal to 0, and also at the same time we have f of 3 also equal to 0. So this in turn minus 5 squared plus b times minus 5 plus c equal to 0, and b squared plus minus 5 b times 3 plus c is equal to 0. So in this case we have a system of equation like this. So 25 so minus 5b plus c equal to minus 25, and 3b plus c is equal to negative 9. Alright, so if we subtract from both up, then we have ab equal to 16, so b equal to 2, b equal to 2, so that in turn yields c equal to so minus 15, right? So it should be D. It should be D. Right, so 5D. Okay. 5D, alright. Number 16. Alright, number 6. So in the xy plane, I equal to mx plus b, where m and b are constant, is a reflection point by L across the y-axis, which the flowing point do two lines intersects. Okay, let's see. For this type of question, we have to draw it down, man. So I think we need to draw it down. So let's zoom it in this point. Alright, so let's draw out the OXY plane. So it's going to be like this. Alright. So I equal to mx plus b. So it's a arbitrary point like this, arbitrary line like this. Alright. So arbitrary line like this. Alright. So okay. Okay, so alright. M and B are constant. Okay, so it's a reflection of line L across. Okay, so for example, if we call this line L, then the reflection of line L across y-axis. Okay, across y-axis. So it's the symmetrically opposite this line. It's gonna be this line. There you go. It's roughly that line that I want to match the angle. So there you go. That line. That line is the reflection line across y-axis. So So at which of the following point do these two lines intersect? So you can clearly see that this line, they're gonna intersect at the intersection of line y equal to mx plus b with the y. So y equal to mx plus b. Let's go with line L. So L intersect y. No, L intersect OY. I want to be at, where OY, I mean x equal to 0, y 0b. So and we're gonna call this L prime. We're gonna call the line, the reflection line L prime. L prime. So L prime. So L prime wanna be also intersects OY at LB at 0B. Also intersect OB OY at 0B. So L intersect L prime at also 0B. So it's A, right? Đây. So it's 6 is B. Uh, 0B, so it's A. 6 is A. So is A. Okay. Let's come to number 7. So they give us a pair of fuel burn, and they also give us a distance, and we have to base on the distance to the fuel burn to actually figure out the distance. So all right. So for this exercise, I'm gonna find out what is the criteria for D, as we have no F already. So I know we have to find out the criteria for F because we know D, the criteria for D already. So the general for this number 7, we know that D equal to 2/3 of F, but we know that D is greater than 20, right? Because we are asked how many rockets should go more than 20 meters. So which means that okay, so D divided by 2/3 also has to be greater than 20 divided by 2/3. Okay, so D divided by 2/3 is actually F, has to be greater than well, it's actually 30, right? So how many of them are bigger than 30? So rocket 6 and rocket 7. So I think the answer of 7 is B. Okay, and 7 is B indeed. So 7 is B indeed. So is F bigger than 30, right? All right. Number 8. Let's try number 8. All right. So the table below summarizes the student enrolled to different university. The researcher decided to interview a student who attend either State University or Southwest University. What is the closest probability that a chosen student is undergraduate Southwest University? Okay, so because they only select a student in either State or Southwest University, so we have to divide the what we select to calculate the probability gonna be equal something that we have to count, and we have to divide it by all the students of the State and Southwest University, which is 28,626 plus 22,361, and we divided this for the we're gonna find the section that we desire. So what we ask is that they are an undergraduate. So in State University, it is 32,791, and in Southwest University is 19,443, because they only choose students who attend either State or Southwest University. So so they only ask about the student who is undergraduate at Southwest. So we're not gonna plus the 32,000 in. Okay, so we only use 19,443 divided by the sum of the student of the both of the two universities. So what's the result? That's 0.31. So in this case the answer is 318. So it's actually C, right? In this case the answer is C. Alright, so the calculation was correct. Alright. Okay, let's move on number 9. So a grocery store has two recycling machines outside. The first recycling machine took in 240 plastic bottles and 180 metal cans. The second took in 30% more plastic bottles but 10% less metal cans. Okay, the second machine recycled what percent of more items than the first, rounded to the nearest cent? Okay, so the first is 240 plastic and 180 metals, right? Metals. And the second is 30% more plastic, so the second gonna be 240. So 30% more plastic, right? So it's times 130 over 100, because 30% more plastic. And how many? And 10% less metal. So 180 times 90% over 100 metal. So so that's it. Let's calculate. 312 and 162. So that's a total of so this is a total of 420. Wow, that's a nice number, 420. Amazing. So this total of 474 Alright, so percentage more gonna be equal to 474 minus 420 and all over 420, and we multiply by 100%. Alright, so 420, that's beautiful. That's over 12.8%, right? So 12.8 is actually 13, so it's 12.8%. So number 9 is actually 13. So you see. Alright, 420, it's beautiful. Okay. So it is C. It is C indeed. It is C. Okay. Let's do 10 and 11. Okay, so number 10. Okay, so as they estimate, there is a marble is in the jar, alright? Henry, you actually know the actual number of marble. Note that Ashley is within 15 marbles, or inclusively of the actual number of marbles, alright? So we don't know if it's 15 up or 15 down. So we know that A minus B. We don't know because we don't know it's 15 up or 15 down. So it has to be, either A is bigger than B, then it's 15 up. But if A is smaller than B and it's 15 down, it has to be negative 15. So 10 is A. Right? 10 is A. Okay. Because Astra estimate is within 15, which means the difference between the estimation and the actual value has to be 15. But we don't know it's 15 up or 15 down. So and we know that it's within 15. So this difference has to be bounded by negative 15 and 15. Alright? Okay. Number 11. So we have the circle. Okay, so for a circle has center AB and radius R. This equation in the Cartesian plane. In the Cartesian plane, gonna be equation on the Cartesian plane gonna be x minus a squared plus b minus y squared, y minus b squared. All of this equal to r squared. Alright. So we know the center is 1, 2. So we know that 1 AB is actually equal to 1, 2. So now, in order to find out the equation of circle, we have to find out the radius. But we know the radius is just the distance between the center and a random point on the circle. So it's gonna be the distance between 1, 2, and 4, 6. So that's the square root of okay. So this is gonna be 4 minus 1 square plus 6 minus 2 square. 6 minus 2 square. Okay, so That's 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square, and we take square root, so r is equal to 5. Okay, so the equation of the circle gonna be, so we're gonna plug it in, so a for 1, b for 2, and r for 5. So 1 here, 2 here, and 5 here. So it's equal to 25 over there, and the answer is B. 11 is B. Okay, 11 is B, and it is B indeed. Okay, it's B indeed. Yeah. Alright, let's do number 12. 12, 13, 14, and 15, and then we take a short break. Okay. Yeah.